Now it's probably no surprise to you, but the world has been through some pretty tough stuff in the last couple years.
China has identified the cause of the mysterious new virus. Coronavirus.
There are fears a rapidly spreading virus has reached Australia.
This is a rapidly emerging situation.
Okay, that was an understatement. It's been really, really hard. But what I'm trying to say is that we've all been sick in one form or fashion, one way or another in our lives. Whether it's been as severe as contracting coronavirus, or it could just be as simple as a common cold. We all needed that one thing to keep us going when we were unwell. So welcome back to Trust the Chef, the show where we take everyday culinary concepts and challenge professional chefs from all across the world to create a dish that celebrates them and their love for food. Today's episode, we'll be talking about home remedies. So because of this, I wanted to ask the question, can food really help us get better? Not just feel better, but get better. And because of this, I got really curious, so I reached out to Dr. Olivia Currie, an internationally board certified lifestyle medicine doctor, based right here in Christchurch, New Zealand. You see, prior to meeting Dr. Olivia, I had all these existing relationships with local chefs in the community, and they all came from different parts of the world, whether it was Rom from Cambodia, Om from Thailand, or even Alvaro from Venezuela. And they all had their recipe for the perfect home remedy, or that thing that just picked them up when they were feeling down or unwell, both physically and mentally. I had the opportunity to connect the culinary world with the clinical world, and this is what happened.
Hi, I'm Dr. Olivia, lifestyle medicine doctor, and we use diet and lifestyle as medicine.
Olivia, thank you so much for sharing your experience and your knowledge on this topic.
Thank you for having me.
No trouble. So yeah, you'll be looking at a few different chefs here today, and I understand obviously it's really important to feel that food tastes good and feels good for your body, but at the same time it's also really helpful to know that it is good for your body. And I suppose today is a chance for us to hear from a professional such as yourself. Yes, goodness.
Very humble. But I think I'm like you, I like food,
yeah.
And especially when the food nourishes our body, that's even better.
Well, let's get started and see what you think.
Sounds great.
When I'm feeling down or the family's feeling down, what type of comfort food that makes you feel a little bit better. So today, probably all of you guys out there that are Cambodians will know exactly what I'm talking about. We call it baba. Quite often other people call it rice congee, or rice porridge. In here we have ingredients. We have the jasmine rice in here. Our main stock is obviously chicken stock based. The poached chicken that's then been shredded. Then we have ginger, shiitake mushrooms, and over here this is called dried radish. This is homemade. Actually my mother makes a lot of this. A long process, but it's definitely worth it. Then we also have dried shrimps, scallion, spring onions, fried garlic, pepper. So let's get started.
I'm going to pause there, if that's all right.
That's all good.
I think that's an awesome start. So she calls it bobo, but I guess it sounds very much like bubur, which is the Malaysian name for it. And porridge, obviously Chinese congee and things like that. We all know that. We all have similar version of it in Asia. And I like the ingredients that she's used because they're real. They are not processed, definitely not. So, and usually she used chicken, which has got, lots of protein, lots of good fats. And what's amazing about the ingredients that she used here is that she's used fermented radishes, shrimps and things like that. So what we underestimate about fermented foods is that it's a really good source of pre and probiotics. And these are a really good way just to restore any sort of dysbiosis, so an imbalance of the microbiome caused by a virus, caused by any illness, caused by antibiotics, for example, just to restore that while the body does this thing, while medicine does this thing.
That's awesome. I love that. The main thing was it's just full of flavor, and having it fermented and in a brine solution makes it more potent. But it's great to hear that it's got probiotic properties. And
this is the nicest thing as well. When you put all these potent flavored ingredients into a pot and you cook them for a really long time, then the next amazing thing is that our body just kind of absorbs it. It doesn't actually have to digest it, which is why bobo, like the dish that she calls it, is a popular dish when someone is sick. You don't have to focus on eating nutritious food like a salad, for example, because your body's just too busy focusing on getting you better.
We're going to put all that rice in there, and I'm using about half a cup for this small pot. I want to also add some pepper to infuse that pepper into the rice grain. It's going to be really, really fragrant. What I'm going to do next as well is I'm going to give a bit of that garlic. Now you're going to see that the rice has now kind of become quite aerated and quite toasted, quite crunchy. You don't want to be burning it, if only you can smell the fragrance of that garlic straight away. Add the stock gradually, just little by little, just so that the rice can now start absorbing that stock. At this stage, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of ginger. So now here we go again. You got the garlic, you got the pepper, and then you got the ginger. And what this is good for is obviously to help with the body heat, to help with the circulation. So hence why this is just the perfect pick-me-up when you're feeling down, feeling a bit tired, kind of, you know, feel like something is just coming up and you just need to bring your body back to its original place. This will definitely help you.
I kind of agree with her actually. So, so ginger is obviously has a lot of medicinal benefits, such as anti-nausea and to her, as she says, bring the heat up and bring the oomph back. So it's a vessel dilator, really. So it just opens up your blood vessels, improve the circulations, improve, you know, oxygenation of parts of your body that's injured. But obviously it's got a lot of anti-nausea type medication properties, which will help with digestions.
I'm going to add the dried shrimps into there now.
There you go, that's the probiotic.
So you just want it coarsely minced, and that there will definitely add depth into the flavour. Quite often, I know that some people don't use it, but like I said, this is probably my personal favourite because I usually find that shiitake mushroom, when added into soup or stock or congee, it actually tastes like power. And when it's fresh, also adds a little bit of a different flavour as well and texture. As you can see, I haven't actually used the poached chicken yet because this chicken has been pre-poached already. So we'll just simmer this congee for half an hour, and then we'll come back to it, and then we'll add the chicken and whatever else that needs to assemble this congee. Right, so as you can see, our congee now has been simmering off for over half an hour actually. And as you can see, it's definitely turning into
that's a really fast version
congee consistency now.
Congee.
Okay, we can actually add the poached chicken in, and as I said earlier, because the chicken has already been cooked, you're just needing to kind of heat it back up. And yeah, it's time to go into the bowl. Who's watching this video right now and saying that, oh my god, I wish I had that right now? We've got our mung bean sprouts that we have here.
Cool, I like this part because she's finished a dish and then she added raw ingredients on top. So when raw food has different vitamins and minerals in terms of properties, so cooking tends to take away a lot of the vitamins and minerals, but raw stuff, you know, it kind of retains it.
Can you just imagine having this early in the morning? Such a nourishing dish. One mouthful of it can really bring you all together. Here we go, guys. Enjoy. That garlic, that ginger, and then that chicken broth that brings it all together, and then that earthy kind of taste from that shiitake mushroom. This, guys, this is the reason why this is the home remedy for our family and most Cambodian families out there in the world.
What's your personal perspective on Thai food? What do you think when you think Thai food?
Oh, I'm a big fan of Thai. Yeah, it's the spice that that comes to mind.
Right.
It's
You won't be wrong, actually.
There's actually Thai spice and
Yeah.
normal spice, and I think Thai spice is like, I don't know, 5 chilies
Yeah,
on the ranking,
on the menu.
on the menu. So,
And it's sort of just off the page.
oh, yeah, that's right. There'll be Thai spice.
Yeah.
I don't think I can handle Thai spice, but I think when I order Thai food, I do say closer to Thai spice, but not Thai spice.
Got it.
So,
Got it. Yeah. 0.5 Thai.
0.5 Thai. That's right. Is that what you do?
No, I'm just being creative. Cool. All right. Well, let's get into it.
Most of you guys know Tom Yum, but this one is potek. I love it, especially when you go for a long drive and you feel, I always get car sick, go for a long drive and I want something to pick me up. This is the one to go. It's aroma, it's fresh, clean, a little bit zesty, and you put the chili and the heat that you like. And yeah, the first I'm gonna start with the simple seafood stock. When you peel the prawn, you know, keep all the shell. I would like to put some lam leaf, galangal, and lemongrass just in there. Water. You let them boil for a few minutes. Here now, we drain, turn the bee heat back on, extra aroma go in for the look, and this is my favorite. You have to put it in there because they give you a good smell in there. Chuck it in, and then coriander root, and then more chili. In there, some prawn, you know.
I might pause there just to reflect on the past few bits, I guess. She's obviously made stock out of shells and things, and that's actually very low waste, which is good because certainly you've added protein and added a lot of trace minerals and vitamins from sea creatures, I guess, so from the ocean, you know, things like iodine, you know, we don't really get it anywhere else. But it's abundant in seafood. And then zinc again is really much abundant in seafood, so she's actually maximized all of that by using all part of the animal. Yeah, so, and you know, COVID season and all, you probably hear a lot about zinc.
You can, if some people doesn't like seafood, you can change to be chicken, pork, but I'm not recommend beef because beef is not gonna give you a clean taste. Fresh thrown in. Try not to stir too much because otherwise you're gonna break the fish.
Which is quite gentle
Some
with the cooking
mushroom
as well.
in.
So she's not destroying the protein.
You can
of
take
the
it out if you don't like
seafood.
it. The fish that I like the most is grouper, or the meat of the grouper. It's nice, especially when they're fresh. There.
Oh my gosh, you made that already? That's awesome.
With basil and coriander leaf.
And again, the fresh
There you
herbs.
go. I think it's a good looking soup. Now it's finished. We want to try this soup first. Oh, the aroma there. You're there in the middle of my mom's kitchen. And then I know it. When you have a sip of this, firework. Party every mouthful. Party.
Yeah, so very similar, but again very different in a way. So so this is a little bit clearer than the congee, but equally as nutritious. Slightly different nutrient content, obviously, because of the different ingredients, but all very nourishing and all very therapeutic.
Hey guys, my name is Alvaro, and we're gonna prepare a seafood soup called foforera. So let's start to cook the octopus.
Seafood again,
The octopus
there you
is
go.
around 50% water. So we're gonna cook it without water and just octopus. Yeah, in a hot pan, really hot pan, we pour some oil.
Let's use his hands.
We're gonna prep all the ingredients for sofrito. Chop in some coriander. So you're gonna add some chilies as well in the food. Right in the middle. For me, the coriander is so refreshing. For us, it's really important.
I'm gonna pause there because I like what he did. Obviously I don't know how to cook octopus, so I'm actually learning from this video. But when he chopped up the onion and the chilies and things like that, he notice how he puts it to cook first. And if we eat it too raw, it's actually quite upsetting for our gut. It's just too acidic and probably too raw. Like he's like slowly just cooking down the onion. Then it makes it shiny, makes it really, translucent, and that's actually much nicer for our gut.
To use the whole product.
But yeah, so again, like with the prawns,
we use the meat, we use the shell.
He's not wasting anything.
Like the flavor of the head, but for me is the best part. But all the flavors is in the head, all this red part.
There you go.
I'm just smashing.
That would be the basic ingredient for pote.
So yeah, we're gonna drain the pumpkin.
Oh, pumpkin.
It's gonna give to the soup the sweet flavor. It's almost done. Full of water.
Wow.
You wanna try? It's a little bit chewy, but the flavor is so good.
It is you.
You feel it's really salty, but didn't add any salt.
Is it really salty?
We got the octopus here.
Wow.
Look.
Must be fresh.
I reduce a lot the stock.
I know where you found it.
Yeah. I call it amazing. It's super good. So now we're gonna cut the octopus. But first,
that's quite tender.
we're gonna try. Most of the seafood, they come with salt in their bodies, so we just need to take it out.
Really
and at this point, this sauce in here is so salty.
Yeah, just let out
So you're gonna taste it in the end.
Oh, it's horrible watching cooking videos when I'm hungry.
I'm so sorry.
This is a Mung fish. You can use any kind of fish. So I'm gonna just drain the fish stock.
Oh, there you go. See? Fish stock. So you guys have, this is actually quite an educational video. So if anything, see how everybody just uses stock? And stock, I think, is amazing. I can talk to you about stock all day. And fish stock, same as the seafood stock that Om made. They're full of omega-3 and 6s, it's just amazing. And obviously you don't necessarily have to add more salt depending on how salty your seafood is. But sometimes all our body needs is water and salt. So technically, this is like savory electrolyte.
Now we got the three stocks. The prawn stock, fish stock, and the octopus stock.
Oh.
So now we're gonna cook all together.
And he cooks it with the octopus.
Need to be a fish stock. 2 spoons of pumpkin puree. It's already boiling. So you're gonna add the seafood.
Calamari.
Some of the sofrito that we prepare.
That's right. See how he's cooked it forever?
Then I'm gonna add just a pinch of turmeric powder. So now it's boiling. We're gonna turn it off Now we'll take out all the foam from the soup. It's not good at all. So So the soup is ready. Soup first, just a stack. And then we're gonna add some.
I think that's really helpful.
Octopus.
Yeah, I think that's really wholesome. I can see why he enjoyed
And
it.
then for the final touch.
And again, the fresh
some fresh coriander.
herbs.
The
Fresh
coriander
herbs on the top.
for me,
There you
garnish, but
go.
as well is
Same theme.
give the freshness that I told you, like of color and flavor. So we're gonna try our soup.
See, and everybody feels well after this. Have some soup.
It's incredible.
Some soup. Just drink some.
It's just intense flavor of all the seafood. There is a lot of kind of seafood. This is prawns, squid, octopus, mussels. It's so hot. It's so warm. It's a little bit sour, a little bit salty, and the touch of the sweet of the pumpkin, and refreshing with the coriander. So it's a mix of everything. It's a mix of our culture, our Caribbean Sea, and this is amazing.
So after watching the 3 videos, the 3 commonalities I think is obviously quite loud and obvious if you were to watch it again. So so this is probably part of my bias, but all of them have soup. So soup is highly valuable here because, you know, what all the 3 chefs have done is to enrich the soup with such high nutrients, so much protein, so much vitamins and minerals, that all the body needs to do is just to absorb it. That's all they needed to do. Obviously they are chefs, so they have fancified it. So they have fancified it with obviously herbs and root vegetables that are high in flavor, but also high in medicinal values. And all of them use protein, which is obviously most bioidentical for the body to get what it needs. And interestingly, both of them used a seafood. So, and again, that's high in zinc and iodine, which helps with your immune system and your recovery. The sensation of the comfort of someone caring for them, someone cooking for them, is probably their love language side of things, and that triggers your amygdala, which is the part of the brain that focuses on memory. And when your brain feels cared for and it feels loved, that boosts your parasympathetic nervous system significantly, and that's what helps with the recovery.
Cool.
Yeah.
My mind is full. It is. I'm leaking out knowledge from my ears right now.
Oh, dear.
So this is a good thing. This is a good thing. I'm sure you're very hungry now. But thank you so much, Olivia, Dr. Olivia, for sharing your thoughts on a very interesting topic. We hope to see more of you in possibly the future.
Oh, looking forward to being here. Thank you again for having me.
So there you have it. The answer is absolutely yes. Food can most certainly help us not just feel better, but get better. Whether it's through the medicinal qualities of fresh herbs and spices, or whether it was letting your body absorb the natural nutrients of stocks and broths, there's one thing that stands very clear to me, and that's the fact that food helps us feel loved and cared for. I don't know about you, but I remember growing up being sick, whether I was faking it or not, but asking my mum for a nice hot bowl of noodle soup, or maybe it was some congee with a little bit of Marmite in it. So next time you've got someone who you love and care about who's not feeling too well, make them something. This has been another episode of Trust the Chef, proudly brought to you by Story Bites, the place where we love to share our love for people and food, one bite at a time. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and do all those fun things, and I'll see you next time. Bye.